All right, time to mic check. Mic check 1 2. Seems good enough. Right, I'll do this, then this. Go here. Switch to face cam to say hello, folks. It's me, I'm Biggie, and I'm back. And we're live. Playing some... Wait, where did my ad timer go? Why did I disable the ad timer? There we go. That's good. Alright, we're back. We're the mukbang stream for now. Hopefully things will go okay. Let's just thank our members for now. Apidox, Manta, Double, Rafael, Vega Chapa, Techno, and Amaslam for being members. And then we'll just go ahead and set things up. Let me just put the ads on. And see if I could get Rogue Trader started without destroying my PC. If I can, that's good. Okay, good. Not the autosave. Let's do the voice bridge save. Okay. My head's cropped off. There we go. Where were we in this game? I will probably have a couple of people we could talk to. Let's look at the map.
Welcome back. I just got a Monster Energy ad that showed a topless woman, so that's neat.
At least you're not getting the DC whatever game that is as an ad.
I am getting Gachapon ads.
Hooray. Let's go ahead and have a look at some of our people we could talk to. Alright. Master Helmsman Ravor. The tall man before you appears to be... Okay, so what happened when we last
Also
left off?
local election ads.
Okay. So we became Lord Commander for the first time last session. Here's a tall man before you appears to be woven from tendons and muscles. Blue veins snake under his white, almost dove-colored skin. Scalp and chin are covered in cropped white hair. His neck and shoulders are wrapped in wires that hint at the presence of neural connectors under his uniform. The officer's face seems to be twisted in a perpetual grimace of annoyance and anger, but he greets you with a respectful nod. Lord Captain, Master Helmsman Ravor, at your service. So he's the dude right here. Wait, can we actually... Oh, that's cool. It's nice that we actually have a zoom in on his portrait. Alright, remind me who you are. I, the Master Helmsman's Lord Captain, stand here at the wheel of this here tub. I mean your vessel, and bark commands with the idiots who tends to related systems. In layman's terms, I'm the one who stops us from running into an asteroid or disruptive gravitational wave when we're traveling through the void. Do you control the ship in real space? I wish that was my only job. I have to steer her through the warp too, but most of my credit for that goes to the navigator. The warp's nightmare, always tossing up something new, and all my years at the helm, they count for nothing in there. My parts are small enough. Ah, that's what she said. I just monitor our systems, follow the charted route, and I don't kick up a fuss when new orders come in from the navigator sanctum. Real space, now that's where I keep my eyes peeled. Gravitational anomalies, void currents, art radar, radiation, that kind of shite shows up everywhere. Thank you, Emperor. Thank the Emperor, the augurs on this vessel are holding up, and so far we've been able to spot if something bad's coming our way. Basically, the material universe, not in the warp. So who are these idiots you're in charge of? There are too many to list them all. Tech priests from the engineering, voidsmen from the augur decks, the work-shy fools on the bridge. I have to every last one of them be flogged. They need a wake-up call. They need to be whipped into shape. Else this ship won't be going nowhere. Or even worse, it'll go somewhere we don't want it to. Okay, that's enough for now. You're Voidborn, are you not? That I am. I'm born into a helmsman clan in the bowels of a Chartist vessel. Started family trade until I was 15. Then my entire clan was butchered in mutiny lower hold scum. Wait. By lower hold scum. They spared the young'uns, of course they did. Kids with implanted connectors make great navigational servitors. But I was having none of it. They weren't going to make a servitor out of me. So I escaped into the crawlways, and then I spent months picking them off, one after the other. Ravor stops abruptly. You got me talking up a storm. Anyways, yes, I am a Voidborn. So basically, he was born in space. On the ship, I guess. Finish your story. Yep.
Yup, correct.
Not much to tell. Got everyone I could, and then I fled upward to the medical decks. First of all, the auger operators took me under their wing. They who apprentice helmsman of their own up there, you see. Nobody asked me any questions. So instead, I grew up and trained and got smarter. They ended up a junior helmsman. A dozen years later, Danrock spotted me and lured me away from the cheeky blighter. Okay, I can see you're not a gregarious sort. Aye. Well, have I done something to displease their lot, Captain? On the contrary, you're the first person on the bridge who's not tripping over themselves to lick my boots. Okay. The helmsman perpetually twisted mouth twitches as if he's trying to smile. It looks sinister rather than friendly. Oh yeah? Well, I'm pleasantly surprised myself that you haven't had me flogged for insubordination. Well, my wonders never cease. Yep. I become one with the ship, except the bloody cogs messed the wires and stimulus injectors and connectors when they implanted them. Oh, so they basically that's wires himself up the ship rather than just hold some sort of in my noggin. Anyways, I can't sleep. It just doesn't happen anymore. It's been 30 years of non-stop stimulants and spitting headaches. So forgive me if I'm not all smiles, Captain. Wow. So he basically wired his brain up so he no longer needs sleep. That's gotta be rough. Good for nothing wasters. That's what they are. Each and every one. Take generous Danrock, the highborn weasel. He fawns over the officers, but some of the deals he makes.
That's a thing that can happen. He is just one lobotomy away from being a servitor.
Okay. It seems as if they can take the fall for him too. One of my junior helmsmen was ferrying goods from the footfall for him. He got caught in the seneschal. Ended up in the void hatch. Then Rock couldn't care less. Voxmaster, another Tolman like the last one. Void rest is no better. She cut off half the Vox channels the day she took up her post. She said the Vox systems were damaged and the engineering had no contact with the other modules. How am I supposed to steer the ship? Collect Cogs reports with all the power of my mind? First Officer Wesserian can't stand about him. Like every Navy officer ever I met, he doesn't know a thing about controlling a vessel in the void. But he puts himself up all words and the same and throws the weight around. Me and him have a few words a few times.
It's funny that sometimes people in his position are wired up to the ship to help run it in the Imperium, but Chaos warships also do that too.
The dude just dislikes everyone. Do you like anyone at all? What kind of a question is that? I like you, and Lady Theodora before you. What would it be if I'm making cracks about the rogue trader? Ha, I don't want to die just yet. I must take my leave. Lord Captain. Your lordship? Oh, is that Sister Argenta?
Rogue trader.
Oh, here we go. You have a personal request for me?
I indeed have a request, Rogue trader. The accursed servants of Chaos who assaulted this ship took the lives of your loyal crew members, and they orphaned many children, including the progeny of the brave officers who defended their posts until the bitter end. I don't know what customary practices there are for cases like this in Von Valancia's territory, But in the world I'm familiar with, the children of such brave souls could expect to receive some special consideration. Perhaps the rogue trader could meet with the orphans?
A malign, metaphysical force composed of psychic energy exists in an alternate dimension in the warp. So it's me, the rogue trader. So basically, she wants me to go meet with the orphans.
As you wish, rogue trader.
Wait. I didn't mean to actually do that. Damn it. Let's load. Damn it. Where was it? Damn me and my fingers.
Oops.
Load in, load in, load in. Good thing this thing has a save feature. And does it... Okay. I was gonna say, that took a while to load. Okay. Three. Continue. Tell me about the Voidborn. I must take my leave. Okay. Now we'll save. Let's go talk to Sister Argenta.
Rogue trader. I indeed have a request. The accursed servants of Chaos who assaulted this ship took the lives of your loyal crew members, and they orphaned many children, including the progeny of the brave officers who defended their posts until the bitter end.
What good
I
would
don't
meeting
know
them do?
what customary... These children are the future of your crew, and one day they too will have to stand against evil and heresy as their parents did. By meeting them, by speaking the right words to them, you will honor the memory of the fallen heroes and light the way to heroes in the making. They will always remember the day they met the rogue trader. Besides, it will bolster the orphans' spirits, help them recover from their loss, which can be hard for someone so young.
Okay, we could arrange for a meeting worthy of a rogue trader. Or I'll meet with them, no formalities needed. These are the children of people who gave their lives to the Von Valantius dynasty. My consideration is the last they deserve. Yep. Deliver this order on my behalf. The orphans are to be properly provided for, but a personal meeting with the rogue trader is a bit too much. Or 5, why would I? Do I need to fill these children's heads with the illusion that the world is its ruler care about them? I have no part in this. I think number 3 is more me.
I will pass on your instructions. Thank you.
Wait. Is this press any key? Oh, we're going straight to the lower decks? Are they orphans? A motley group of
An
adolescents.
interesting fact, Sisters of Battle really like regular humans, but hate space marines. Often Sisters of Battle, despite their insane fanaticism, often act as therapists for regular guardsmen.
I see. The motley crew of adolescents do not take their eyes off you, gazing as if you were a creature straight from fairy tale. Okay. Oh, Abelard, hello. The fatigible sister has been kept an eye on those pups. Yep. It's hardly the Schola Progenium here, but we have provided the orphans on our ship with adequate care and instruction. Division of response with the upbringing, education, and the training of orphans. Oh. For those officers and nobles who've died in service. Okay. Argenta is standing to the side of the group. At your approach, she perks up and announces, her voice ringing. Brave ones, the master of the ship has appeared before
I believe
you.
most combat medic divisions are often overseen by Sisters of Battle as well.
Ah, I see. Brave ones, the magister of the ship has appeared before you, the one who will guide it through the darkness and universe by the Emperor's will. Greet your Lord Captain, the rogue trader of House von Valanches. You know this infamous Master Enric Montag, standing a few paces away from the orphans. He watches you with approval and bows respectfully when you meet his gaze. Infernus Master, do you serve as a teacher in your spare time? Or grandly address the group. I, the rogue trader, and the Lord Captain of the ship speak to you now. Your parents give their lives for a just cause, brought them honor to the von Valanches banners and those of the Imperium. I am proud of them and believe that you will become their worthy heirs. Or small group, your Lord Captain greets you, brave ones. Don't talk to this. Okay. Okay, I'll address them first, grandly. Or do I want to just talk to them softly? They're a bunch of adolescents, right? Yep, the teenagers hang on your every word with bated breath. Only a few at the far end row seem sullen and not particularly impressed by your speech. Wow. One of the scrawny visitors with a thin scar across his face tosses his head back and says bitterly, "So what? Why should we care? Our friends and parents died in dozens of your noble lot, and you just gave us speeches. Wow. Dude." A flurry of emotions flashes in the dark eyes. She warns them to calmly and scolds him for impudence. Their compartment leaves much to be desired. I hope that they will be molded into worthy servants of House von Valanches. This audience is over. I don't think that's going to be... Let's chaperones punish the troublemaker. Put the rest back in the base.
The ones who aren't impressed sound like they want to be servitors.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Do we ignore... I won't ignore insubordination. I think I'll go, you have something to say, then say it. I'll listen. It doesn't matter what we say. It wouldn't bring our parents back, and it won't change their face either. We'll keep slaving the ship until we can drop die like our folks, or worse. I understand your grief and dismay. Your parents died. It's not an easy thing to go through, but they gave their lives for the truth, a good of the whole ship. For Imperium, do not speak of their honorable fate and anger and disdain. Let's see. When the heretics who killed your parents attacked the ship, I was there. Okay. Meeting's not over. Nothing like that yet. Number 3 is okay. When the heretics who killed your parents attacked the ship, I was there. I took the command. I fought and I repelled the assault as quickly as I could. No war can be won without losses. You can only strive to do what is within your power. I think that's the answer that I'm probably going to answer if it was me. Yep. You heard the rogue trader. His words carry the wisdom of the Imperium. It's hard to say whether or not your words have left an impression on the boy, but he nods slowly. Then he catches himself and gives you an awkward bow. Adabars gives a sign, and servants immediately emerge carrying a package treats with von Valanches emblazoned on the wrappers. Prius the Seneschal come prepared for any contingency. Hooray! Give treats to just the adolescents. Argenta rubs her temple pensively. She smiles and offers a few more words of encouragement, then leaves the bay. Is that it?
huzzah, speeches, and snacks.
I wonder if this if things could have gone
Hope
differently.
those aren't corpse starch bars.
Yep. I think that sounds exactly like what it is, but oh well. I had a snack a little bit, and I'm feeling a little bit better, but yep. Unrest on Fuel Deck 3. Not sure if there's anything else we could do.
Greetings.
It is exactly
Gladly,
what it
there are
sounds
none
like.
more faithful
An
to the
emergency
God
ration in
Emperor
the
than my
Imperium,
sisters.
LOL.
We fight against his enemies by the will of the Holy Ecclesiarchy. We... I beg your pardon, Rogue Trader. Here I am talking about what every lesser noble in the Imperium knows. So what exactly are you interested in hearing about?
Are you single? No. Are the fiercest in the faith among the warriors in Imperium? Is it true that you're the fiercest?
It is. The Sisters of Battle are a fire lit by the God Emperor. They are the echo of his voice that travels through the dark expanses of the universe. We bring his wrath to heretics, mutants, and other enemies of humanity. We protect the faithful from the unholy and unhallowed. Sometimes with words, more often than not with a bolter.
Oh, nice.
Even the novices of the Adeptus Sororitas are drawn from among the most worthy. Those who have taken the vows and become a full-fledged sister are the best of the best, tested by trials of body and spirit. Yes, there have been cases when a sister stumbled or showed weakness, but do not expect to hear a story of depravity or downfall from me.
Ooh. Foreshadowing? Sister?
Each such occurrence is a great tragedy for us all. Light cannot bear the smallest speck of darkness within. And thus those who have trespassed or
Fun
shown
fact,
weakness of
the
spirit
Sisters of
are
Battle
given a
were formed
chance at
because of a
redemption.
technicality.
They are
The
called
Ecclesiarchy
Sisters
wasn't allowed to
Repentia,
have any manned
and may
army,
the enemy
but they
tremble
formed the
before her,
sisters under the
for
clause of
nothing
it's
can
not
stop a
manned.
sister of battle who
It's
yearns
woman.
to be cleansed of faults and weakness.
Ah. Hooray. I am no man, literally.
Wearing nothing but robes, no armor, eviscerator in hand, those sisters who have once faltered find repentance on the battlefield. Their lives are seldom long, but a death in the name of purgation is a better fate than to live with a shadow in one's soul.
So, wait. So if what happens when a sister falls?
Even the novices of the Adeptus Sororitas are drawn from among them. Each such occurrence is a great tragedy for us all. Light cannot bear the smallest speck of darkness within. And thus those who have trespassed or shown weakness of spirit are given a chance at redemption. They are called Sisters Repentia, and may the enemy tremble before her.
So I guess
Wearing
Sisters of
nothing
Repentia
but
are
robes,
basically...
no armor, eviscerator in hand.
I wish...
Those sisters who have once faltered find
Oh, wait.
repentance on the battlefield.
Eviscerators
Their lives are seldom long,
is
but
the
a death in the
chainsaw
name
thing,
of
right?
Purgation is a better fate than to live with a shadow in one's soul.
Okay.
Once I had completed my novitiate, I was sent to the Calixian branch of the Order of Our Martyred Lady, assigned to the Orders Pronatus. The
Heal
Order's
you up.
mission is vital and noble. The Sisters Pronatus protect great relics of the Imperium. We guard them, preserve them,
Just to highlight their
escort them when
fanaticism.
they are brought onto the battlefield or presented for pilgrims to venerate.
So Sisters Repentia are ones who have actually fallen to sins, whatever sins they are. I imagine sins of the flesh more than anything. And they just said that, okay, we're gonna die in the
And
battlefield.
we seek out the relics that have been lost. Neither a coven of heretics nor the most wicked death world can deter Sisters Pronatus when their goal is to return a piece of the great legacy of the Imperium into the hands of the faithful.
Relics that have been lost near the world. Oh, we have some lore success. Although Pronatus is not one of the Order's militant, and yet you're trained as a fighter?
Don't let the name deceive you. The Order's militant trains Sisters to march onto the battlefield as an army. That does not make Sisters who belong to the non-militant orders timid and helpless.
Okay.
Both the solace-bringing Sisters Hospitaller and the enlightened Sisters Dialogus know how to greet enemies of humanity. Their dialogue with heretics is usually quite short, with the last word being a bolter discharge.
Oh, okay.
And my order has all the more reason to be known for the martial prowess of its sisters. We are the keepers of the Imperium's relics. What would become of our blessed hero's legacy if the Sisters Pronatus could not protect it?
Does that belong to the collection branch? What brought you to the Coronas Expanse?
The Order sent me to Footfall. My undertaking was to assist the local priesthood of Drusians in caring for a sacred reliquary that had been there since the time of Parson Mr. Wayne, the station's founder.
Okay. Underling was...
You didn't pray hard enough. You are sent to battle with no armor. Either the Emperor saves your life or you perish in the name of the Emperor. Sometimes Sisters will join Repentia of their own will.
Ah, I see. Sent to Footfall. My underling's attacking was assisting local priesthood of Drusians. Okay. Legendary hero of the Angevin Crusade who fought the Calexis sector for the Imperium of Man. Okay. Any other members of the Adeptus Sororitas in the Expanse?
None that I'm aware of, but the Sisterhood's orders are many, and can operate independently of one another, sending their sisters wherever their presence is needed as deemed by the Ecclesiarchy. Perhaps somewhere in the Lord Inquisitor's retinue, may his path be blessed, my sisters perform their duty as we speak. I wish it were so. Even a single evening spent in joint prayer and training would bring me joy.
Okay, I have no more questions about the Sisterhood for now.
Should any more arise, keeping them to yourself would be imprudent. It is about me. I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to tell about me?
How'd you end up with
I
this ship?
first came here when I found myself in need of passage from Footfall to a remote planet. But I imagine what interests you is not that first journey, but rather what brought me aboard prior to the cultist attack. That story is complicated. It just so happened that
That you what?
I made a mistake. In a moment of laxity, I was ambushed by the accursed followers of the archenemy. I was badly wounded.
One of the most famous Sisters of Battle,
Lady Theodora
Saint
came to my
Celestine,
aid and brought
actually
me aboard her
continued
ship.
choosing to be a
Her crew
Repentia despite
attended
other
to me in my
sisters
weakened
saying that she
state.
was more than redeemed.
It all happened not too long ago. I had barely recovered from my wounds when the cultists struck. Truly, the servants of evil know no rest. There is no place where we can be safe from their machinations.
Okay, so basically she was attacked by cultists, right? Archenemy is a malign metaphysical force composed of psychic energy that exists in the alternate... Wait, well, okay, so the Chaos is their enemy. Well, in a world where the chaos of the warp exists, I think it's fair to be faithful to something. What happened to the people who wounded you?
Sadly, they did not. Lady Theodora was in a hurry and chose not to stay on the planet. Her people took me to a ship while I was unconscious, and when I came to my senses, we were already flying away. How I pray to come face to face with those heretics once more, and it's bound to happen someday.
Ooh, mental note. She might just go and do something about it. Difficult for you to accept the... Number 2 seems wrong to ask. When did all this happen?
On one of the recently discovered planets in the Expanse. No one suspected that it had already been tainted by the filth of heresy. Had I known it beforehand, of course I would have been on my guard.
We could go to that planet and deal with the Chaos Worshippers.
The path to that planet was lost. All the knowledge is gone, along with the previous navigator.
Oh, yikes.
It would take immense effort and resources to rediscover the route. The heir to the Von Valancius Protectorate must have plenty of other issues to deal with right now. Perhaps later, when the skies above our heads have cleared.
Okay. What it's like traveling with the Theodora's ship, then?
I hadn't been here that long. Just one journey from Footfall, and the other journey, the majority of which I spent in the confines of the Medbay. I can't tell you much about the first voyage. I was more focused on prayers and ruminations than on the people around me, or the journey itself. During the last journey, Seneschal Viserion stood out for me. He came by several times to ask about my health. He's an honorable man and a loyal servant of the Imperium. I think he is as meticulous in his inspections of the logistics systems as he is in his inquiries about the health of the occasional sister of battle aboard the ship.
I think Seneschal Wisterian is, wink wink, nudge nudge, a lot more infatuated with her than she thinks, but...
But not all of Theodora's people have earned my trust. You know who I'm talking about. There is no place for Adira Tlas among the God Emperor's faithful. I'm surprised she wasn't in league with the cultists. And I'm equally surprised by how deep heresy and treason run in this place. I'm glad we all made it through that dark hour. May the day that follows be bright.
Come on. Argenta doesn't like Adira very much, I guess.
As you wish.
What's that keeping you right here in my retinue?
The ship was targeted by heretics, which means that my presence here and the assistance I provide to you are my sacred duty. Sooner or later, I will likely have to return to Footfall to protect its reliquary, but for now, I wish to remain a part of the Rogue Trader's crew.
Alright. So, I think the number 1 answer is probably the best one. I do like having a sister in my crew. Of some of the Golden Throne in my crew. Maybe the enemies of the Imperium tremble before our onslaught.
So they shall.
See you next time. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at the map again. So there's that dude, the helmsman, Voxmaster.
The Sisters' faith isn't just a weapon in a figurative sense, but even in a literal one. Their faith in the Emperor is so strong that they can stave off the warp's corruption, often with mere presence.
Presence? Parry the presence? No, that doesn't make sense as a joke. Hello, Victis. Vicdis. Oh, hi. So you're the Voxmaster. How may I save you, Lord Captain? Remind me of who you are. Voxmaster Octavius Vigdis, Suri Otta. Okay, current Voxmaster serving aboard your vessel. In accordance with the Seneschal's orders, I assumed this duty immediately upon the demise of the esteemed Voxmaster, Septimus, who was my grandfather.
There has been only one sister of battle who truly fell to chaos, but she isn't too major in the lore.
Okay. I am the ears and voice of this void ship. Or maybe she sounds a lot like Bane. She? He? She? I'm the ears and voice of this void ship. 3 times the number of support personnel. We receive, send, encrypt, decode the incoming, outgoing messages, the ship's internal, external channels, and we ensure the clean communications, optimal efficiency of the crew's voxcasters. Alright, if you ever want to know what worries or concerns your crew are harboring, what your subjects are whispering about in local networks and the watches, and the leaders are clamoring about in the shout vox, just come to see me. I will satisfy your curiosity. Have the vox spirits bought you anything interesting lately? Forgive me, my lord captain. No information that we of interest of you at the moment. Well, your appearance is unique. You're a Voidborn, are you not? Yeah, let's talk to her about Voidborns. My heritage, generations and generations of people spent their entire lives in the depths of this void ship. Neither of us or our ancestors have ever left home, but same can be said about many denizens of the Imperium's million worlds. You're used to the many silence of the cosmos and the voice of the ship. There are thousands of us, but we dwell far from the Lord Captain's upper decks, remain unseen. We are the Voidborn. Where's the word come from? Children born in the void, between stars, the womb of a traveling vessel, orbital satellite, forgotten asteroid station, low gravity voyages through the warp and the countless dangers of space travel. Everything others hate and dread is second nature to us. What about the Voidborns in our crew? To us, the groans, creaks, and murmurs of the ship sounds the way babbling brooks and singing birds to the world of the dwelling. We hear the ship breathe, know its feeling, and perform numerous functions. And thinking we're part of the ship that is part of us. So perform numerous functions. Okay. So basically, how do you find life on the ship? Life has been quite generous. To me, Lord Captain, I'm the Voxmaster, and only the best in the dynasty can ever become one. By virtue of skills and position, no one has ever denied me anything. Family claims a spacious section for its demesne. I also enjoy long walks through the narrow and dimly lit corridors of the ship, listening to the sounds of her activity, falling asleep and waking up and chanting hymns, admiring the stars beyond. How about others on the ship? How do they treat you? We look, speak, and move differently from the inhabitants of the planetary worlds. Our way of life, traditions, and quirks frighten those people. Just like the darkness of the cosmos, many believe us to be the bringers of ill fortune. It is the Voidborn who get blamed for terrible warp phenomena during longer voyages. So, hooray! Discrimination against the Voidborn. Several years ago, an unfortunate warp jump caused all the food on board to spoil. 15 days later, a hungry and furious crew nearly massacred everyone on the lower decks, blaming us all for the misfortune. Yep. Space racism. Restock larders with our flesh. I would have been off during the mutiny if Idra Tlas has not shown up in the right place at the right time. Came to my rescue. Scoundrels' fear her even was greater than the fear of the Voidborn. Looks like you're close friends with Idira. Okay. The Voidborn seldom make friends, especially amongst the captains
Just like
and
Gundam
entourage.
LOL.
Yeah. But you may see many consider Idra to be different. I am different too. We have plenty of time in each other's company discussing regicide. Wait. Oh. Okay. Human tabletop game played across the ancient Terran game of... Okay. I thought they were talking about regicide for a second. Okay. So chess and alcohol. Okay. Wrinkles appear at the corner of Victor's eyes. So basically she's just like smile wrinkle. Okay. Except Idra changed after that one incident and we started to drift apart. The death of Lord Captain Theodora made her withdraw even more. I do not know what Idra considers to be her friend now, but we used to be very, very close. It's good to still look after her in my own way. Okay. Have you ever left the ship? I did once, and it was dreadful. Feels like the massive blue domes overhead could shatter at any moment, and the tall and fall, and my bones would be crushed by the gravity. The ship is my home, Lord Captain. I would not trade it for even the bounty of 100 worlds. Okay. Ooh, we have a fellowship check. Okay, let me just drink some cola. Okay. Right, connect me to the vessel's main channel, or we should boost the morale by crew. Ooh, XP! We got a fellowship test that succeeded. Boxmaster nods obediently and press several switches to the device she's holding. It is done, Lord Captain. You address the crew with a rousing speech. And you hear your voice roll through the ship, reaching every normally quiet corners of the vessel. While the broadcast ends, you hear distant shouts of approval. Okay, that'll be all for now. I live to serve. Okay. So, that means we need to talk to everybody. Who else is on the map here? So we talk to the Voxmaster. Oh, that's me. The Kronos Expanse map. High Factorium. Okay. Where's the High Factorium?
Huzzah, socializing time.
Oh, there he is. What do you do for my ship? The corpulent man in lavish clothes. Oh. Hey, that's me, kind of. Look very similar. Bows before you, not without difficulty. Oh, he has a serval skull whirs over his shoulder, while the fingers of his augment hand drum against the sheaf of papers he is holding. He is regarded to you with attentive interest through the lens of his magnifying implant. Greetings, your lordship. Jandris Dandrock at your service. Remind me, what is it that you do on my ship? As a High Victorium, my duties are encompassing anything that might enrich you and your praetoriate. I see that you're... I see to that supplies deliver all shipments on time, and that our partners do not weasel out of their promises, and that all servants remember that the Emperor's grace can only be earned through toil for the good of Von Valancius' dynasty. And I make arrangements for ensure that our hold receives less than thorough inspections by Port Customs Officer, and I find buyers for whatever we used to sell. Okay. So he's the dude that's going to make us money. Got it. I am from Dargonius, your lordship. I've been a subject for your dynasty since birth. I always strive to be of use to the great rogue trader. Oh, that was not my fate to be the primary heir of my own family, due to my being the 15th in line in the title. Oh, wow. Decided not to stand in the way of those behind me in case they attempt to shorten my waiting list at my expense. Okay. So, while my brothers and sisters schemed against one another, I studied the exact science and mastered bookkeeping, the greatest of all, the Adeptus Administratum. I must admit that the accumulation of wealth, something one can control, is far more exciting than hunting, carousing, and the other traditional amusements of my noble peers. Okay. So, the dude is just me, as a clone. Look. It's just me, isn't it? Yeah. Hello, fellow noble. What's it like working with Theodora? Oh, that's a tricky question, your lordship. Do you ask for it of everyone, knowing that they risk losing their heads should they let slip a careless remark about your predecessor? I shall put it thus. Working with Lady Theodora was never boring and always profitable. The Imperium has billions of subjects, but very few do what they love with what they are best suited to. I would say Lady Theodora was one of the fortunate ones. She was a model rogue trader, and she surrounded herself with those who excelled and loved their work. Hers was a rare talent indeed. So I wish to know about you and your fellow crew members. Keeping tabs on your subordinate, a wise move. Tell me who interests you, and I'll endeavor to be as honest as possible. What about Abelard. Lady Theodora managed to do whatever the Imperial Navy could not. Teach Master Wisterion to carry
O
out...
Lord,
Yep.
the Administratum. The new and current Lord Commander of the Imperium, Rabut Guliman, upon seeing what a mess the admin was, considered leaping from a ship in orbit.
So, just like the US administration, yeah, happening right now. Hooray, topical, and cancelled. But anyways, the result is impressive. Having said that, there's something else you need to know, Lord Captain. Your seneschal is capable of being something far greater than a mere conduit of your will. He possessed the cunning and experience to run the Protectorate passively whenever Lady Theodora was away, and that really is saying something. Keep an eye on that old officer, I say, or alternately, turn him into a faithful ally. Yes, okay. Interesting. Nice to have an honest answer. Based answer. About your opinion of Voigtfir, the former Master of Westeros. I hope to never see him set foot aboard this vessel again, not even as a servitor. Although he would be able to do at least some good that way. Someone has to clean the large latrines after all. Victorian's bloated face glowed stern. He gave us all quite a fright on that ill-fated day, Lord Captain. And still, to speak this candidly, I never enjoyed the Master of Voidvir's company, but I believed him to be a man who knew how to do his job. He knew how to do his job. Regretfully, I was mistaken. It turned out Kunrad lacked the most important quality for a Master of Whisperers. Unwavering loyalty to the rogue trader. And his failings came at light in the most deplorable manner. What about the Voxmaster, Victus? Yes, the Voidborn. You know, in my family we used to sell such creatures as quarry whenever we went hunting. Oh my goodness. Mutants are the bane of humanity, an unseen tumor that threatens to end us all. My goodness. They're not hiding the racism very well there, Mr. High Factorium. But I digress. In the brief time that Tolman has spent in the post as Voxmaster, I've not noticed any significant flaws in her character or anything that would make me question her professional qualities. Needless to say, she is very diligent, and as a Voidborn seeking to earn the Master's affection, I believe you can trust her skills and loyalty. Fair. Let's talk about something else. About the people who buy our plunder. Oh, of course, Lord Captain. Who interests you exactly? We most often deal with the followers of Saint Drusus, the Explorators, and the Kasbalika mission, or Emperor, forgive us, the Fellowship of the Void. Okay. Saint Drusus? Drusians hope to bring the Coronas expanse into the warm embrace of the faith, just as the flock hopes to receive the Drusian missionaries. Each crate of food, shipment of clothes, box of medicine marked with your seal as a sign of the rogue trader himself believes in the future success. So Reverend Hieronymus... Wait, Hieronymus Bosch? Wait, where does Hieronymus Bosch come from? Wait. Hieronymus is a painter? Isn't he? Yeah. Just give me a second. Why do I know the name Hieronymus Bosch? I must have known it from history of some sort. He's a famous painter? Seriously, yeah. Hieronymus Bosch is... Oh yeah, he's that dude.
I think he is a painter.
He's that dude that inspired Berserk, like the artwork in Berserk. He was a Dutch painter. He's the one that painted Heaven and Hell and inspired a lot of artwork in Berserk. Yep. And he was very, very before his time. The Guardian of Earthly Delights. There we go. Hooray.
Right.
Yep. Okay, let me just go ones and twos. Right. So basically, Hieronymus is the first among Drusians. Is more often seen as Footfall's grand atrium, a gloomy fellow, but some most believe him to be a saint. So basically, there's the saint dudes, there's the explorators, who was been roaming the Cronus Expanse for a good while, hoping to find acolytes regularly show up in the inhabited worlds, so seeking bits of sacred knowledge, tracking down mechanical relics, sniffing out Xeno artifacts. Truth be told, supposedly they want to save their ignorant rabble from the corruption, so a tech priest named Opticon 22. Oh no, not the Catch 22 priest. Does business with us on a fleet's behalf, so he can be found at the docks down in Footfall. So, what about the Casbalica mission? What are those guys? Masters of the cold trade, immoral criminals, notorious crooks of the last man. His mission is not well, the branch of this mafia gang has taken root in the Calaxis sector. Basically, you can do business with them as long as you take the necessary precautions. They're led by...
Opticon, a very visual transformer.
Yes. Yeah, I can see that. But anyways, they're led by Vladim Tokara, who is specifically part of himself, League of Footfall. The Liege of Footfall, of course, he is a trusted ally of Rogue Trader Witherscale. So the other ally for the other Rogue Trader will not refuse you, another of the Emperor's anointed, if you wish to talk to Valadim. Look for him in the Liege's Palace in Footfall. So what about the Fellowship of the Void? Laugh like a gurgle. A pompous name, is it not? In truth, they are a gang of pirates who are forever squabbling over loot and territory, however. Some of the little flotillas need supplies, or can take awkward cargo off their little hands without asking questions. There's always a risk that these scoundrels will change their minds and attempt to board us instead, but so far, our macro cannons have managed to keep them in line. They say Riza Calvaria, speak of the Fellowship's behalf. The Adeptus Machina in Footfall is rumored to be her favorite haunt. Yep. So why are we giving our spoils to these people in the first place? We don't give them away, we trade them, right? To profit from them, of course. Most of the things you will find during expeditions are complete junk to one such as yourself, but the less fortunate and affluent servants of the Emperor think they're treasures, especially when they are bestowed by the great rogue trader himself. Drusians, fanatics, and pirate cutthroats, Casbalica dealers and explorators, none will refuse our help in those dark and trying times, and there may come a time when we shall be the ones requiring beneficial to have allies who are willing to provide it. Okay. So there's saints, explorers, crooks, and pirates. So alter my crew with more fighters? Rest assured, there are people of the most outstanding talents among the thousands of your crew. I will contact the overseers at once. Wait. Ooh. Oh, we could actually customize characters? Oh boy. Okay. Mana. Let's create you, shall we? Let's go for some sort of appearance. One of these dudes. Okay. Which one of these? Okay. So let's go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and A, B, C, D, E, right? Oh, we have Elon Musk. Do you have any particular class you want to be, Mana? But we could even get we could use a custom portrait if we so wish as well. But um, let's not pick one yet. This just makes you look like Elon Musk.
I don't mind any class, but let's go with D5.
Okay. A, B, C, D, 5. Okay. Huh. Okay. You look like a fellow noble with this. Fellow noble wannabe. Right? And I think the appearance is fine. The hairs and tattoos are fine. We're not going... Let's go ahead and choose your voice.
Excellence matters.
Heresy grows from idleness. To arms!
We the Powdered Wig Gang LOL.
Yep.
Through chaos I stride. Behold the wrath of madness. Perfect.
Ooh.
Looks like we have a problem on our fire at will! My supremacy is proven once again.
What curiosity unveils itself before me?
Your existence
Wig ain't
is
white enough.
naught but ashes.
Yep.
The best defense is a good offense. Look upon the Emperor's faithful and
I like that perfect LOL.
Which one do you like? The daring male or the mad male or the heretic? Yep. I could change the hair color. Can we? Yep. There we go.
I think the enemy has got the point.
The Emperor gave me a vision. Didn't see that one coming, did you?
I think
Now,
daring
that's
male.
Interesting.
I think that enemy has got the point.
Wait.
Perfect.
Why is that
Done
a
and
thing?
done.
Which one of this? Are you going to be the heretic, or dogmatic, or iconoclast? So are you going to be the faithful dude, or the heretical dude, or the fellowship dude? Do you think? Since I'm iconoclast, I might want another iconoclast character.
Faithful.
Okay. There we go. Dogmatic. Which world? Death world, Voidborn, Hive world, Forge world, Imperial world. I don't think you gotta, or the Fortress world. Do 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 do. We could go Hive World if you so wish, or Voidborn. Or you could go with Humanity's Finest. With somebody, with a couple of these traits. But as somebody who's faithful, Survival instinct is interesting, but that's a strength and toughness, agility based stuff. Intelligence is your dump stat. Fellowship is your dump stat. You have Voidborn, which increases willpower and intelligence. That makes you a mage. Hive World increases fellowship and agility at the cost of willpower. And Forge World gives you intelligence and toughness at the cost of fellowship. And Forge for a purpose. Choose from augment system for the following: subskin armor, locomotion, that increases MP and dodge, and plus 10 int and critical hit chance. And we also have a Fortress World that gives you perception and will to power. I think we could give you one of these. And we either have the...
We don't have a rogue style character yet, do we?
No. We have the Astra Militarium Commander. Imperial Guard, primarily fighting force, ballistic skills and perception. Okay. Athletics and Medicaid. That's kind of nice. Weapon skill and fellowship. This is a other single shot target melee attack applies the following effects. Enemy targets becomes marked. I think the Commissar is a fellowship character, but at the front lines. Crime Lord is weapon skill and perception. Okay. So that's the roguey character. Increased perception and awareness. Yep. Surefire plan. At the start of combat, the Crime Lord gets an int bonus stack that Surefire plan affects. Activation of this ability consumes one stack and makes the next action stronger depending on the type of action. If Crime Lord attacks, they deal plus 10 perception bonus more damage. Non-damaging ability. An enemy suffers a minus 10 int bonus. Okay, so basically this is a rogue type character, I think. That's just, you just look stunning in this. This is the healer? Toughness and willpower. No, okay. Navy officer that has brace for impact. Agility and commerce. I'm already the noble of this group. There's also a psyker, but we already have a psyker. So I think Crime Lord's the one that we don't have yet. And we already picked perception as our kind of the stat boost, right?
That Navy officer outfit is amazing, LOL. But, yeah, Crime Lord would be best.
But let me just look at the Navy officer as a outfit. This is an agility and fellowship role. For one round, the Navy officer and their allies in a 3-cell radius gets +2 deflection for each archetype taken by the Navy officer. Cannot be forcibly moved or over-penetrated. That's what she said. Can only be used once per combat. Increased demolition and agility. Do not falter. Allies affected by brace or impact do not suffer negative effects. Scatter. All allies affected by brace or impact suffer only half the damage. Get off me. Perfect timing. Get into the cover. So this puts you in front. Okay, so either go.
It also kind of fits since my favorite Space Marine Legion is the Night Lords, which is a legion comprised of criminals, gangsters, and just generally people who should not be super soldiers. They are also not loyal to the Imperium.
Okay, so let's turn you into an assassin. So I guess warrior is going to be it. Charge and endure. Yeah, you're the only one that could turn into an assassin at the moment. The other...
But that's just a fun fact about myself.
Okay, so there's a master tactician. Always in the thick of battle. Last volley, orchestral firestorm. Okay, let's go next. To archetypes. So I'll think about whether to become a strategist or tactician next. And probably an arch militant for one of our other dudes. Alright. Warrior it is. So, what we're going to buff. I think we're going to buff perception. We'll definitely buff weapon skill though. And perception. Ability to withstand the horrors of the warp. Okay, we have awareness. Strength is athletics. We don't have a ballistic skills for you. So, strength, how much physically strong the character is, affects the damage a character inflicts with melee weapons. Okay. What about athletics? Traverse difficult terrain. Leap over rocks. Okay. What does agility do? This is for demolition. We don't need this. Okay. Man. Random Anta. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. We'll be using you mainly for the athletics and awareness. A crime lord from the fortress world. Oh wait, never stop shooting, huh? Okay, so I might change your home world. Because never stop shooting is kills an enemy at start of turn. Stack of never stop shooting. Characters with the first attack this round will cost 0 AP, will not count towards attack limit. Wait, each time a Fortress World character kills an enemy, they gain plus 10 stacks of never stop shooting. At the start of their turn, there is a stack of never stop shooting percent chance of that first attack this round will cost 0 AP, will not count towards the attacking limit. Okay. Hail of Steel. Around Fortress World character gains a stacking +1 bonus. Yep. Combat Addict. Okay. Let's look at our results. Let's apply. Oh, profit. Wait, profit factor lost? Wait, what? What do you mean profit factor lost? Retinue require training? Wait. Wait. Cost of future progress resets will be increased. Okay. Oh, okay, so we have a choice to reset a character. I shall return later. Okay. Right. Let's have a look at our... Is it our inventory? Ah, there it is. Okay. Oh, we don't have stuff for you. That's going to be problematic. And... Okay, there we go. 4 ranks available for you, mana. Okay, so we have Keystone features, charge, choose skill. Okay, do we go... athletics, carouse, athletics, coercion, this is some fellowship, agility, Medicae, intelligence, this is perception, so do we go with awareness or do we go with athletics? You already have awareness, right? Crime Lord? Athletics? Endure. Daring Breach. Immediately restores 3 MP, AP and MP against 3 until the end of turn. They not lose MP performing attacks. And we have Blade Fury, which requires Breakthrough. Each use of Slash increases the damage dealt by Slash by 1 until the end of the combat. Contempt attacks the warrior. Attack. They gain +1 stack of Epicenter of Slaughter. Probably want Blade Flurry, but we require Breakthrough first. Wait, where is the skill Breakthrough? Oh, we need this first. Okay. So we can't pick this. Thick Skin, Epicenter of Slaughter. Enrage. Easy target. Desolation. Deals additional +3 damage to enemies that have no allies in adjacent cells. Contempt. Whenever an enemy attacks the warrior, warrior next melee attack against the enemy deals additional damage. I think Desolation. Available tech. Against enemies not armed with a melee weapon. So maybe easy target. You'll be chipping off random dudes in the back. And maybe weapon skill. Okay. So interestingly enough, we spent some time doing that. And we have a couple of people we could still talk to. Wait. Where was she? Am I blind? Where's Idra? There she is. Little aged woman stares ahead, her eyes vacant as she rubs the implant at her temple. Her collar is undone. Oh my goodness. Eyes vacant as she rubs the implant on the temple. Collar's undone, and one of her class of the verge of falling off. Sensing your presence, Idra turns her head towards you, offers you a crooked smile, even though her eyes look right through you. Man, why are you taking off your stuff, madam? About your abilities.
What are you talking about, Lord Captain?
You're a Psyker. Psykers are granted the right to live with the Emperor's blessing. Have you ever been to Terra?
Look, Lady Theodora couldn't care less if some eggheads measured my brains or not. It's not about the seal on your forehead, get it? It's about what's in your gut, if it's rotten or not. My gut's stronger than an adamantine on this here ship. And my implants are better than the ones they put in you on your Terra. If they weren't, I wouldn't have lived as long as I have.
Oh, wow. How old are you? Where do you come from, though? If you're not from Terra?
Lyra, an outlying world in the Heathen Stars region. In the Coronis Expanse, the deeper you go, the less visible the Astronomicon gets, and the less people know about the Imperium. The arrival of a rogue trader is the best thing that can happen to a world like that. The very best.
And tell me about your homeworld,
It's an
then.
out-of-the-way planetoid between two faint stars. On Lyra, a dozen local tyrants fight over 5 measly continents. But they use everything they can to win, from poison to psychers. I haven't been there in many years, but there's nothing for me to miss. Trust me.
Okay.
But here on the ship is a different story altogether. I saw more wonders in my first year serving Lady von Valancius than I'd seen in my whole life on Lyra.
Huh.
Like my first journey through the warp, I was in bed for 3 days. I felt like supernovas were exploding in my head. I only found out later that I'd gotten off easy. Just through the bulkhead in the bay next to mine, a whole team turned into... Look at me rambling on, Lord Captain. Pay no attention.
No, I want to hear. What did they turn into?
It wasn't like it was a very fun trip, Lord Captain. But look, if you want to be entertained, I'm the woman for the job. I'll entertain you with
Ooh.
one of the stories from my collection, no problem. But if you want to hear about the time I melted everyone in the bay next door, well, I just don't really want to go into the details on that one, all right?
Oh, fair enough. Then what did you do before you came to be on the ship?
Oh, I embroidered wall hangings in honor of our national heroes.
I like her.
I did the same thing I do here, Lord Captain. Divining. Our rulers prized the ability to see into the future. Every psyker that could be found was worth a small fortune on Lyra. There's no such thing as a peaceful life on Lyra. People like me were especially sought after. They'd pick psychers up wherever they found them, buy kids off their parents, even just abduct them. Take me, for instance. I got taken from my street gang. The older kids sold me when they noticed there was something off about me. The ruling dynasties had schools where they trained us and beat us black and blue. And then they packed us off to serve. Some of us held on for a long time, but others didn't last. Not everyone's as smart and talented as me, you know. Some people crossed the line and were out of commission before their time.
Okay, it looks at me unexpectedly. Then, as though clarifying, she used her hand to indicate a head exploding and laugh. She just has that Jinx energy, doesn't she?
Theodora von Valancius paid a visit to the ruler I was serving at the time. I don't know what the visit was for, and it's no business of mine anyway.
Oh, I know.
I can still remember the way the voices in my head changed when I looked at her. They were practically screaming. She had so much behind her, and plenty ahead of her too.
Oh, well.
As I gawped at her, all of a sudden I heard a whisper. A hint, a suggestion, nothing more. But I know the difference between idle chatter and a real threat. I seized my chance and approached Theodora. I managed to whisper a couple of words in her ear before the wardens dragged me away. They beat me and locked me up. No wonder. It wasn't my place to converse with outsiders. And then Theodora's people came for me. They broke down the wall, butchered the guards. Also, I could tell them my warning in full. So I said the rest, but I didn't want to go back to my old life. And so I entered the service of the von Valancius dynasty.
Just give me a sec, folks. เรียมฮะขอดูมาม่าที่เอามาหน่อย ที่ซื้อมา ว่าเป็นซองใหญ่หรือซองเล็กไปดูสิ เดี๋ยวขอดูไอ้ตัวด้านหลังมันหน่อยวิธีปรุง เปิดเป็นครึ่งเดียวเติมเครื่องปรุงทั้งหมดในน้ำร้อนแล้วก็ต้มอ้าวก็มันมีเปิดฝาเป็นครึ่งเดียวที่ไหนมันมีไม่มีฝานี่หว่านี่แต่อันนี้เดี๋ยวไปอันนี้เป็นนั่นนะฮะมันเป็นกึ่งมันน่าจะนั่นอยู่ อันนี้คือของชินนาเมียงสีดำนี่มันน่าจะพรีเมียมของเกาหลีแล้วแต่ไม่รู้นะว่ามันเผ็ดมากน้อยแค่ไหนแต่อันนี้ไม่น่าเผ็ดมันน่าจะปิดป้ายปิดอ่ะ
ถ้าเขาเป็นกล่อง
อืม
ถ้าเป็นกล่องเขาก็ให้เปิดเหมือนที่เราทำคัพนี่
เดี๋ยวไปทำอันนี้ใส่เนื้อใส่ผักมากันแล้วกันนะฮะ โอเค Well, have you ever been off this ship though?
A few times. Not many. And if I think about it, why would I want to? I've got everything I need here.
It's
All the
rather
whispers I
interesting
hear are
since most of the
familiar
people
ones.
on the ship
They
are
almost
loyal
feel
to
like
the
family.
Imperium,
And
but
if I
she
want to
seems
hear about
more
the
loyal to
nightmares
the
off
rogue
the
trader,
ship, I can,
which isn't uncommon.
after some Amisec. But don't go getting the wrong idea. If I have to, I'll follow you to the edge of the galaxy.
Oh, okay. I think that's probably not uncommon
Of course,
for
Lord Captain.
any news.
You bet I do, Lord Captain.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we went to Footfall once. Well, I mean, Lord Captain Theodora went to Footfall a lot. But on that occasion, she took me with her for some reason. My day had gotten off to a bad start. My head had been yammering since I woke up, but there was nothing else for it. I had to go. We arrived at the place, and what a place! All the gentlemen and ladies dressed to kill, showing off their encrusted implants, all clustered around little tables. Well, turned out it was a gaming den.
Oh.
And not just any gaming den, but one run by somebody with deep pockets for people with just as much cash to splash. You should have seen it. People gambling away planets in a game of regicide. Anyway, so the Lord Captain wanted me to help her beat some guy. So I tell her, the chips won't land in your favor. You'll get a bad hand. Don't sit down at that table, your ladyship. But did she listen? Of course she didn't. If there's one thing she never lacked, it's stubbornness.
Oh, she is a bit of a gambling addict, I guess.
So they sat down and the cards were dealt. I'm hovering around like I'm not involved, but I'm keeping my eye on things. And everything in my head keeps getting louder and louder. Anyway, it's a good thing I realized in time that my mind wasn't going haywire over a losing hand, but something else. I made some excuse to drag the Lord Captain up from the table and took her away from that place. And a few minutes later, the room where we'd been... It turned out some wise guy had the same bright idea to bring a pet psyker along with him. One of those ones who just scuttle around in Footfall's underbelly. And the psyker just freaked out, I guess. After all the commotion, people went to see what happened in the room. And they'd all gone for each other's throats. Literally. With teeth.
Ooh.
And I think they completely detached that asteroid from Footfall and pushed it off into open space so it would head off toward the local star.
Okay, so somebody lose their minds. So what is it like to being a psyker?
Lord Captain, forgive me. But it would be like talking to a person born blind about colors.
Oof.
I could spend hours explaining, but it wouldn't make any sense to you. Every psyker feels their connection with the warp in their own way. One person might see spots and shadows out of the corner of their eye. Another feels fingers running
Just another
down their
day, another
spine.
psyker mishap.
As for me, I've got a door in my head. One that's open just a crack. There's no way to close it, no matter how hard I try. I've just had to get used to the whispers from the other side. When I need to use it for work, I listen in more closely. But I usually just try not to notice it.
So how do you live with a voice in your head like this?
Training, habit, and a little Amasec and a couple other things you can get on the lower decks. If you put all those together, it makes things bearable. Sometimes I even wonder if I'm imagining half the voices I hear. You know, when life on board gets a little boring. Better than listening to the living, anyhow.
Oh my goodness. So what happens if your door busts open then?
Well, if the door opens, that means somebody's planning to come in, right? But screw them. They're not coming through. Trust me. I know how to keep my valuable head locked up tight.
Not afraid of losing control, huh?
Only losers who are afraid of their own gift lose control. Or idiots who never figure out what they are before it's too late. Or little kids who want to play around with their shiny new toy. If you don't know the limits of your abilities, or you're always bouncing around in your own head, that's a recipe for disaster.
I feel kind of called out for just bouncing around my head.
Alright, that's what I'm here for after all. So, I'm just going to lean on that door in my head a little more, prick up my ears, and listen to what the warp's got to say about you.
Sure.
If you'll allow it, I can listen right now. Alright, let's hear what they're whispering about you.
Rubs her hands together, suddenly freezes with a vacant smile on her face. Her head slightly tilted, you feel goosebumps appear on your skin. Color begins to waver ever so slightly if moved by a breeze of the half-open door.
Seek not on firm ground, but in a golden hall suspended in the void.
Huh.
There waits a child without kin, but with a name blind to truth. She draws the brush across the canvas and does not notice that her palette is full not of paint, but of blood. And with each smear, this well does not deplete, but fills and fills up to the brim. One thing is clear. When this vessel overflows, none will remain unstained.
Ooh. A golden hall suspended in truth? Suspended in the void? Without kin, with a name blind to truth. So, the golden hall suspended in the void is probably the hall of the the warrant of trade. There was a child without kin, but with a name blind to truth. I don't know who that is. She draws the brush across the canvas and does notice that her palette is not full of paint but of blood, and with each smear, the well is not complete but fills and fills up to the brim. Okay.
Among the blind men and false prophets, a red-robed sage seeks the answer to a question. He does not know that it is not the answer he must seek, but the question that will draw everything into focus. Will you help him, Rogue Trader? But mark that sometimes ignorance is sweeter than oblivion.
Okay, so these are probably just clues to the next quest that we're supposed to take.
A chained hound chases after glimmers of the aurora, but sparks and the scent of oil confound his nose. The chain trails after him. What will happen if you pick it up? Will you become his master? Or merely another beast in the pack of his true lord?
Wow.
The glow of dawn bursts forth from its prison. Dungeon walls cannot contain the dark essence wallowing in the dust. A naive cub pushes his nose into a familiar hand, one that holds death in twisted glass. Cherish it or cast it off as a burden. The sword of change has already been raised. What is one more life to it? I'm sorry, Lord Captain. The voices are going wild. I can't make out a thing. I'll try to rein them in, somehow. But for now...
Okay.
Alright, let's hear what they're... I'm sorry,
Okay.
Lord Captain. The voices...
That's
None
everything.
of the officers knew the Lord Captain well. Not even Abelard, and she was always closer to him than anyone else. She told me from the off if I ever listened to anything in the warp about her without her permission, I'd be going out through the airlock. I'm not an idiot, so I never stuck my nose where it didn't belong. Only when I was asked.
Okay.
It's hard to wrap my head around the fact that she's gone. Lady von Valancius gave me everything I have. She opened the stars to me and the paths between them. I still think I can hear her voice.
Okay, so what
The little
now?
sister is afflicted with her own set of voices. Ones that whisper to her about corruption and heresy. The silly girl doesn't realize that if she wants to find the source, she needs to start by looking in her own head.
I'm taking my leave.
Of course. All
Let's go ahead and check. We do have an exit. We can go to our quarters? Huh. Okay. I guess there's a couple of bits of treasure that we could get. What is this? Crack the data slate. The final transactions within the chart list are complete. The fire reckoning is now equipped. The object has been located in containment intact and placed within the target. Coordinate sensor received by target's estimate. Fiery reckoning is crewed by a servitor. Chance of the ship returning it out all minimal. Estimated. Okay. What about you? Unfinished letter. His chagrin is irrelevant. Voidbeard mistake costs me too much. Years of work, tremendous resources, all wasted. He has failed at what he was supposed to be irreproachable at. Uncovering spies. And that was a senior officer. So, okay, so this is a letter written by Theodora, I assume. I'm not about to discard him. Kunrad has served me for too long. For his removal to go painlessly for the Protectorate. Besides, he's no fool. He could have been seriously expected the line between his skills and talents as Master of Whisperers are so valuable. Let him his disinheritance serves as humiliating but instructive lesson for which he may okay. Oh boy. Man, that kind of sucks.
I keep hearing his name pronounced as Kumrad.
Oh. It is a bit of a rad coomer. Head to the bridge. I'm going to have my lunch in a little bit, so as soon as my lunch arrives, I'm going to have my lunch.
Lord Captain?
Let's talk about things that may be useful to me as a rogue trader.
A noble aspiration, Lord Captain. I am ready to acquaint you with all the particulars that interest you.
Okay. Wait, Abelard? You had that same thing that I saw in hand. In the stuff. In the closet. Outline the situation in the Cronus Expanse for me? What do I need to keep in mind?
This is a topic for an official briefing, not a casual conversation. But I will try to answer succinctly. And if you permit, in my own words. The Cronus Expanse is considerably removed from the heart of the Imperium. This means that local warp routes become useless within months. Established pathways are regularly subject to attacks from all kinds of rabble. And in the only major port, the Imperium's frigates find themselves moored alongside pirate vessels.
Okay.
Until recently, the Cronus Expanse could hardly have been called a region of the Imperium. The situation has changed with the arrival of the Lord Inquisitor, but not by much. This place operates under its own rules, you see. more radical, so to speak, but ones that allow for a non-standard approach where there is a promise of victory. The Coronis Expanse is considered rogue trader territory for a reason. Only rogue traders have sufficient military might, audacity, and the rights granted them by the warrant to survive the leap into the unexplored part of the Expanse, and in the event of a successful outcome, to hold on to whatever they manage to capture on the frontier. In the first instance, you should treat official representatives of the Imperium with respect. The Expanse may be on the fringes, but it still numbers among the territories of the Golden Throne.
Oh, there it is.
The arrival of the Lord Inquisitor has turned the Coronis Expanse into a less wild and uncontrolled region, to the regret of some individuals who had grown inured to the local lawlessness.
There's somebody in the Golden Throne that we need to talk to.
Rogue traders such as yourself are also servants of the Imperium. They have been accorded special rights and powers. They wield immense authority within their territory, and they enjoy absolute respect in other parts of the Expanse. The most powerful of them are Kalagos Winterscale and Incendia Bastal Chorda. Tread carefully when dealing with either of them. If
Fair
we
enough.
are to speak of unclaimed territory, which is what Footfall is, among the scum that dwells on that handful of asteroids, there are 3 factions that wield considerable influence in the sector. The first is the Kazbala Commission, organized crime in its most primitive form. It holds sway over the Liege of Footfall and has links to rogue trader Winterscale. The second
Okay.
faction is an offshoot of our shining ecclesiarchy, followers of St. Drusus. They are actively building their forces and hold influence over rogue trader Chorda. And finally, the third faction, the Explorators, a wing of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are willing to die and kill for the secrets of the ancient technological heresies that are hidden among the stars of the Coronis Expanse.
Okay. So there's these 3. There's also the pirates, according to our helmsman, I think. Kunrad, a previous master of Whisperers, what could you tell me about his betrayal? What do you think he'll do next?
You know, Lord Captain, I am no admirer of fine art. But when we next find ourselves in a civilized port, with time to spare, I will promptly find an artist and commission a portrait of the individual to whom you refer, with a hole between the eyes. Conrad Voigtveer. That he committed his treachery and escaped with his life was an unforgivable oversight.
เนื้อ
Okay.
ถุง
We both served Lord Captain Theodora for many years, and we never saw eye to eye.
Okay.
He was brash. He was never afraid of assuming responsibility, and he willingly took on difficult tasks. I am loath to admit it, but the Von Valacius Protectorate continues to reap the fruits of his labors to this day. His service always garnered my respect. But everything else about him made me want to wring the neck of that two-faced snake.
Okay.
If you are taking comfort in the thought that we will hear no more of Conrad, prepare to be disappointed. You thwarted his plans, his meticulously plotted and nurtured treachery. He is sure to attempt to strike at you, and he will use his contacts and knowledge of the Protectorate to do so. The only question, Lord Captain, is whether you will be able to anticipate his next steps.
Okay, that's all for now.
As you wish, Lord Captain.
I'd like to know more about my Seneschal.
As you wish, Lord Captain. What would you like to know?
What were you before you became Theodora Seneschal?
I used to be an officer in the Navis Imperialis. No, used to be is not quite right. It was not simply a job. It was my calling, the essence of my life. I was proud to serve Lord Captain Theodora, but in my heart and mind, I'm still an officer of the Imperium. I met Lord Captain Theodora on a mission where the Imperial Navy was providing reinforcement to the rogue traders' army on one of the frontier worlds.
As soon as we're done with this dialogue tree, I'm going
Our
to
acquaintance was
call it a video.
not easy.
So just give me
Working
a
with
second.
people outside the Navy hierarchy has never been my strong suit. It was to my great surprise then that after the mission's completion, I received a referral to leave my service in the Navy and join the rogue traders' personal council. It was a difficult choice for me. But I saw in the offer a chance to serve the interests of humanity even more effectively than in the Navis Imperialis. You do not need me to tell you just how
These characters
remarkable a
have much
person
to
Lord
say.
Captain Theodora
Yeah.
was. I recognized her at once as a true leader and formidable creative force. One who had built a protectorate amidst the dangers and wildness of the Expanse.
I think they're going in with the assumption that you know absolutely nothing about the WK-40.
Of course.
Yep.
Lord Captain,
Yep. I'll save. There's also co-op mode, but we're not going to do that. We're going to save here. And I'm going to call it a video. Yep. So,
I mean, it's a good assumption.
yeah, anyways. Well, thank you for being here, Mana. And thank you to all my other members as well. Apilux, Doug Bolden, Rafael Vega Chapa, Techno Amislam for still being members at the time of streaming. You guys get to watch vids early. Cool badges and emojis for whenever you comment. Amongst other perks, like getting turned to Pokemon. So if you want to support me that way, check out my membership program in the channel. Otherwise, like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more, click on the bell to get notified for when I go live. I'm going to go eat for a little bit. I'll spend some time off camera playing opening packs and then brewing some decks. And
Have a good day, Biggie and all.
that's gonna be it. Thanks for being here, Mana. It's me and Big, and I'll be back. See you guys in a bit.